Teagan Johnston, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Is it Johnson or Johnston?
Johnston. Yeah.
You see, I'm already making mistakes, and that's the beauty of life.
Yeah.
Fail hard, fail fast.
Yeah. Totally.
All right, so let me do this quickly. Toronto-based multidisciplinary artist, and when I was like, "What does that mean?" I realized very quickly that you're a writer, you're a musician, you're a singer-songwriter, you're a pianist, but you're also an actor. You've been in a horror film, I think a short film from Toronto that was on or is on Shudder, which is such a cool streaming service. And then you've also directed some music videos. You're very multifaceted. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you hit me up because we're doing this value session. We have 13 V's, the 13 values that I live and die by. They're on our site for the world to see. And you said, you know what, like 11 and 12, valor and vigor, those really resonate with me. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Why do valor and vigor resonate with you in your amazing, musical career, which we can talk about a bit. I know you have Beat a Dead Horse. That's the latest song that dropped. That's the third single. You've got an album come out this year. Talk to me about Valor and Vigor.
Yeah. I mean, they sound great together. First of all, just even when you were saying them, I was like, oh yeah, that's the vibe for sure. I, I think when I was reading through the values, I definitely was thinking about them a bit through a lens of music career and just where I'm at now with career. And I think those two fit really well together for what is keeping me going right now. I think vigor is so great, but without valor, without the kind of description you had of it on your site of community and collaboration and ethics and a real grounding root to what you're doing, the vigor kind of means nothing.
Mm.
So yeah, I like the thought of those two together.
Kind of like they work collaboratively with each other, and you need both of them, not necessarily one of them, in order to stay inspired, focused, and keep going with your career.
Totally, and absolutely, yeah, I think you're right on the other side of things, it's like valor without vigor is also useless. If you have morals, but you have no, drive to show up for them or show up for your community
Mhm.
or show up for what you wanna do, that's also not gonna mean anything really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, vigor almost seems like you can speak to this better than me, but from what I know of you, excuse me, it seems to kind of come from your upbringing. You traveled so much throughout your life,
Yeah.
South Africa, Spain, Switzerland, west coast of Canada. When someone travels and sees so much of the world and different cultures and different ways of living, and also starts to realize that everyone's the same, I think that really helps with vigor. What
Yeah.
do you think?
Yeah, agreed. I think, especially having those kind of travels at a young age, a big thing for me was just really getting such a clear view of just how big the world is. And
Mhm.
kind of like you said, how big it is, but then also how small it is, how we can find so much connection and so much commonality with people. Maybe even we don't speak the same language with them, but you can still have a conversation somehow. And yeah, I think that kind of larger than me view definitely does help me navigate how I keep going.
And I misspoke there. I said vigor, I meant valor, because
I kind of
valor for
but I
us,
also brought it back of I think it does still, move you forward, yeah.
100%. Well, I mean, valor for us is like strength or a reflection of strength in supporting and empowering our team and our
Yeah,
community. Um, the vigor for you also seems like it's apt in the sense that you seem to have a somewhat innocent life when it came to love. And then there was like a big blow, which I don't know about, so you can give me the details, that then like changed things. And then you had to go into that and through it to come out the other end and start to really find yourself and maybe be comfortable with love again. That's the vigor, right?
yeah. Are you kind of speaking to, like, the lyrics of my most recent song? Is that kinda where those ideas are coming from?
It is, as well as the rest of the notes and, and press
Yeah,
releases.
yeah, 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 for sure. I mean, I think if I'm bringing it into Beat a Dead Horse, the song I just put out, it's interesting because I think when I was first writing that song, I was writing a bit about past relationships, but then, I think I realized it was so much more about, like, deeper, more, like, familial wounds, and I think
Mm.
love, and heartache and love is definitely something that I can trace back much, much further than just romantic love that I have found in adulthood, but I mean, that, of course, always then one goes into the other, but yeah, I mean, I got married when I was 20, and divorced when I was, like, 24, so definitely a bit of a romantic and have been through it a bit for sure.
Well, so let's expand on this idea of vigor in this context. So
Yeah.
what is it that, as someone who's been, through the love, through the loss, maybe has family related traumas, but then is also so um, devout to creation. I mean, you are doing so many different things in so many different avenues. Some people have just a hard time being a successful musician, let alone also writer, being featured in the Toronto Star, other notable publications like West End Phoenix,
Mhm.
um, directing, acting, et cetera, et cetera. Where do you get your vigor?
I think it's just so my life force, like, it's creativity and output of expressing how I feel is just feels almost non-optional to me, so I almost feel like I can't super take credit for it because it's just, like, how I navigate my day to day, and without it, I feel lost, and I think it's just my North Star of how I feel I fit into the world and how I can express myself and contribute.
Do you have a particular practice that helps you with that mindset to stay tenacious?
To stay tenacious in those ventures, uh, yes and no. I think just doing it is a big part of it. I think just, like, letting the work inform the tenacity or inform the next steps is often what I'm focused on. I'm more focused on just doing the thing, and then everything else kinda reveals yourself itself, and then I'm just constantly catching up to that and showing up for it. I think though as well, yeah, there's, like, you know, taking the time to just lie in bed and think about what you want and how you're gonna get it and what it means to you is something that I definitely do, and just self-talk and journaling and,
Mhm.
uh, exploring those feelings for sure. Yeah, that's important as well.
It sounds like a nice little balance of some of the things that I love and abide by, which are manifesting combined with planning and then just doing and let
Mm.
then time do the heavy lifting with that.
Mhm, for sure. I think, yeah, definitely even more so now in my life. I think there was times in the past, maybe when I was younger in my career that I did feel like a lot of, like, I gotta be thinking about everything all the time and forcing all these steps and whatever, but yeah, now in my life, I'm much more just like, let's focus on the work, and then whatever is gonna happen from that, and just kinda letting things play out on their own a bit.
Super, super key words. I agree. It took
Mhm.
me a very long time to get to that realization. What was the realization for you where you're like, fuck, I can't just keep trying to control this and force the outcome. I'm just going to let it be. Did you have an aha moment or did it just kind of evolve naturally?
I think this whole record that I've been working on lately has kind of been the aha moment of just a total practice in that, because it was the first record I've ever written that was totally without a goal. Like, I started writing it at a time where I was kind of feeling like, oh, I don't really know if I'm interested in pursuing a career in music anymore, if I'm wanting this lifestyle, whatever. I just wasn't in my music career like I had been since really I was 16. Like, since I was 16, I was always pushing forward and making a plan, and I'm gonna write this record, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I just started writing this album because it was happening and it was coming to me. And and then it was just kind of like okay, I'm just gonna like hold its hand and be here for it, and it's gonna let me know what to do, and that's really how it played out. And because of that, like everyone who's been involved has been so amazing, and there's just been so much synchronicity to just letting the work show me the path, and I
Mhm.
think every bit that I've trusted that, it's just sunk in more and more.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
with this album in particular, there's obviously we can lean into Valor there in the sense that it sounds like you're working with a team and that the team is helping you develop this project, and that it's like a very good symbiotic relationship where you're empowering them, they're empowering you. Do you
Mhm.
have a big team with this particular album, or is it
Um,
small?
more so musically on, like, the admin or management or whatever side, I don't really, but yeah, I think uh it's big in a lot of different ways that I think, there's people who are involved very day to day, but then there's people who've been involved at certain points, or even just like people who've been involved who've been loving the songs and coming to shows. Like the expansion of community that I've felt around this album has been really huge and really gratifying. Um, my band, I started kind of playing the songs with them before I was really into recording the record, just to figure out how that felt and how to have a band with me again that I could feel really comfortable with if I was to get to the point of putting it out and touring again, and they've been absolutely amazing. My publicist, Sam, who first connected us, he's like a friend of a friend as well, and he's been just same kind of vibe, just so amazing. I also got the opportunity to go down to a recording studio in Texas to record most of this record, and it was like a dream studio kinda shot in the dark. Reached out to them, and they got back to me, and then I was kind of almost like, "Oh, no, like, just kidding, because like, I don't have a grant or a label, I don't really have money to do this," and they just made it work for me to be able to get
Wow,
down there. So just stuff like that, it's just, like, just showing up for this album and this work has, I think, attracted people who have the same kind of energy for it and just get it. Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, it's funny because V13, V13,
Mhm.
which is leet speak for the French word "v" life. Uh,
Yeah, nice.
there's so many plays on words here because V13 is in village, right? It takes a village for us is a motto that was near and dear to our heart because we have that in the village. But then the village, the community is all about the life. So it sounds like you've had a lot of that beautiful community spirit along the way. Let's pivot back to vigor. So Spain was in your life,
Mhm.
teenager, preteen to early teen, a
Yeah.
time of purity and love, and then a trauma happened. And we don't have to get into the trauma and what unfolded, but like,
Yeah.
how are you with your relationship with love now?
Ooh. Um, yeah. Good, I think. I don't like, I guess I would like to say expansive or trying to be. I think really understanding what love really means and that it's not like you and one person or you and your family or whatever like nuclear ideas we have of love
Mhm.
and has to look like of just feeling how much love there is in the world and in even a tree outside my window right now that I'm looking at, like that gives me love. And I think love for yourself and safety in yourself is definitely the biggest primary thing that I try to focus on too, that I think makes it better and easier to love other
Yeah.
people. Yeah, does that answer that question?
I think it does. I think, but it not only does it answer the question, but it kind of leads into a really important point, which is like to know thyself is to love thyself. And you have to do that first before everything else. That is the oxygen mask. And we do have to redefine things, right? Like I had this North American modern version of the definition of soulmate in my head
Mhm.
in previous relationships, in previous marriages. And it wasn't until one of my therapists said, yeah, you can have multiple soulmates. You can even be your own soulmate. Most people have soul families and things come and go, and that's okay. And that really, for me, was like, oh shit, I don't have to like abide by these traditional definitions. I can expand on that because love is universal. Love is, ever present, ever growing. Um, so it sounds like where you are is you're getting back in touch with yourself more and more so that you can ground yourself, love yourself, and then hopefully get back to a really healthy version of external love.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I love that. Well,
Yeah.
this is what vigor is all about. It's about resilience and persistence in the face of challenges. And I think where we can wrap up perfectly is like your bio work focusing on emotional rawness and communication. That is what you're doing right now, right?
Definitely.
So why do those things mean so much to you and how do you put them into your work?
I think they're just such an important part of the world's being connected and moving forward. To me, is like us all showing up honestly and sharing with each other. Like, I just think there's so many artists and people in this world who've empowered me and made me feel less alone and make me take steps that, in tangible ways or in ways that I'll never know, make things so much better and make everything better. So I think, yeah, me being able to just show up as raw as I can and as communicative as I can in my community or in this world is something that I feel I'm good at, I guess, because I'm good at I like writing and I enjoy writing, so that's the communication, and it comes from a very raw place, so it's what I feel I can really offer, uh, that I hope makes a tangible difference.
Absolutely. So let me ask you a question, and this will kind of set you up for the last word here.
Mm.
Rawness and authenticity are so important. They're everything. I believe that on a creative level, your true authentic self, that's your art, and the more you can get in touch with it and drop all the facades and all the bullshit, the more you get to that beautiful thing that then has the highest chance of success, of success financially, whatever, accolades, followers, attention, you name it. And yet, ironically, we as humans, especially in 2026, maybe less so now, I feel like there is a bit of a shift globally, but
Mhm.
we've had such a hard time showing ourselves to people, whether
Yeah.
it's fear of cancel culture, whether it's fear of being shamed, because you're a big guy, but you have big feelings. Like you're not allowed. There's so many different taboos and things. What do you say to other people to do what you're doing, which is to be authentic and raw? How do you do that when it's so scary and difficult for many, many people?
I think just to know that it is rewarding at the end of the day, and it like, I think me and my friend always are like, "Real recognize real," but it's like, I think you have the best chance of attracting your dream people, your dream spaces in this life when they can actually see you. So I think it's just like, at the end of the day, there's never any point in hiding who you really are because you're only depriving yourself and others of what's meant for you and for them. And I think uh, yeah, you can also only tell someone that much, but I think that also comes back to the importance to me of just doing that work, is leading by example of when I show up like that, hopefully someone else can see that and go, "Oh, hell yeah, I wanna do that too." And I think that's what's happened to me for sure as well, of seeing other artists, of seeing other people show up so authentically themselves. That's inspired me, and that's put me in rooms and spaces and relationships that have just expanded my life to its dream potentials, and yeah.
That's awesome. You got me welled up. I'm happy for you.
Oh.
Well, thank you for creating value by talking about your values. I appreciate it.
I got you. Yes, it was so lovely.